Okay, it is Tuesday, it's Wednesday, February 17th,
Good job.
2021. We'll call a meeting to
Thought I
order.
lost today there.
Please stand for the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Born and up.
Okay, minutes and reports received and filed.
Hang on a second. Go ahead and go with this. I'll grab my phone.
Yes, we have the collectors, January 2021 monthly fees, and we also have from the the auditor's office, the revenue and expenditure report for January 2021.
Okay, Commissioner Committee liaison reports, upcoming meetings.
I had to have my phone because otherwise I don't know what I got going. We got Tampa Board of Directors meeting today. That's about it as far as other meetings.
Tomorrow, I have a Heartland Port Authority board meeting. Friday, HR interviews continue.
Thursday.
Thursday.
Thursday afternoon. That
Okay,
works.
Thursday.
At 1:30, sorry.
And next Monday, I think the County Commissioner Association of Missouri webinars begin.
Yeah. Now we got
Training
20
sessions.
hours of, so Debbie's gonna,
I paid the dues, that's all
Yeah.
I do.
we'll have Old Great One can,
But it's 30,
Oh.
20 hours before June 30th.
yeah, yeah,
So,
Oh, to do the video. It's all
Yeah.
online.
Oh, we're having it in Tampa. What happened to that?
Well, we're going to Tampa first. You
You're
got
not
anything
worried
else
about
there?
it, Brian?
It's gonna be, it's the snow. Tomorrow, we have a press conference, WebEx, with our medical partners and everything, and that works real well. Friday, Patriots Day meeting at noon, and then John Landwehr and I are doing Prop A commercials from 2 to 4 to kick off our campaign. And then, yeah, I got the CCAM training too. That's all I got. Any commission comments? Bids and contracts. Approval of sole source 2021-05 First Watch.
This is for EMS. It's just signing of the sole source approval form. It's a software platform that they're using.
so there's two of them. One's well, there are two attachments to the agenda, so are they both the same?
For First Watch?
Well, we got priority
Two sole sources.
Oh.
dispatch too.
Yeah, and then Priority Dispatch is the next one, and it has two sole
Okay.
sources ran for it.
Okay, I'm sorry, that's the one I was looking at, so first one is just one, so, okay, yeah, I'm good with it.
Okay. I'll make a motion.
Sure, I'll make a motion to approve the sole source for 2021-05 First Watch.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, approval of sole source 2021-06 and 07.
This one's
Priority dispatch.
Yep, this one's for EMS as well. It's for their performance reviews and then a dispatch system.
Yep, good.
Motion to approve sole source 2021-06/07 priority dispatch.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Discussion and approval of contract for commercial appraisal services, but do we have that? Because I got an email from Chris saying he will not be able to make today's commission hearing. Still digging out over here. Contract I have is almost exactly the same as last year's. If you need me present for it, we can reschedule. Do we need to reschedule?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I didn't know if we
Well, if you
had.
reviewed
I mean,
it already,
I can print
wait.
it out
Yeah.
if you want me to.
No,
I thought it had already been forwarded and stuff from, so you
Yeah.
haven't looked at it yet?
Yes, I looked at it, I told him I'm good with it.
Let's move with it. We
Yeah.
don't need to wait, do we?
I can go print it. I just thought Chris would wanna present it.
uh,
Yeah.
okay, well, while she's doing that,
Why put it on another agenda? Let's get stuff done
yeah,
here.
approval and sign
So,
of,
that's the one with John Ruth, right?
No.
no, this
None
is
in-
No.
commercial appraisal services, which,
Okay, I'm trying to find that email. I mean, I'm just one, I think just get it
I'm
done.
good, it's,
Yeah, as long as Jill's fine with it, I am too.
yeah,
I didn't go back to it when she gets back in here. then.
Right, let's do
Chris
that.
said he was okay, we don't need him in here, let's roll with it.
okay. You wanna approve it?
We'll wait till Jill
No.
comes in with it and then we'll go. back to it.
Okay.
We'll make sure she's got what she needs. Boss.
Can we jump to one of the next two?
Yeah, approval and sign of 2019-01 renewal 2 elevator maintenance and repair services. Greg had talked to me and he's out moving snow. He said it's basically the same and he's good with it, so
There was an increase of 3%,
3%,
but he did say he was fine with it.
yeah. Okay, that's the only difference?
Yep.
Yeah, I was just looking at the contract. So this is the second of four
Second
additional
renewal.
1 year period, so this is the third year of it,
Yep.
so. Yep, I'm good.
I move approval of 2019-01 renewal 2 of the elevator maintenance and repair services contract.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Approval and signing of 2020-14 renewal 1 inmate welfare products.
Chris still needs to sign it himself too.
Okay.
This one's with Bob Barker Company. It's for the sheriff's department, and there's no increase this year for the renewal.
I'm sorry, I just jumped on it.
Yeah,
That's good, unless you're Adam Sandler.
Yep, have them spayed or neutered, that's what I'm thinking.
it's a crazy day, isn't it? I can tell. It's
Yeah, and this is
snow.
the second year too, so it's a first renewal.
Yeah, first renewal.
All right, yeah, I'm good with it. Good.
I'm good.
Make a motion, we renew the contract for inmate welfare products.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, you got,
I have the contract.
okay.
I have a motion to approve the contract with the Nunn Company for commercial appraisal services.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Do we have any unfinished business? New business, accounts payable review.
I'd ask for approval of accounts payable pending review.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Michael will be here, he's just running a few minutes
okay,
late.
so we'll go down to
Tonight,
Tonight.
first reading of budget adjustment number 2.
Okay, this is for $26,277. This is the money that we received from travelers on the siren. I just, no action today, so I'll bring it back up in 10 days for action.
Okay. Emergency purchase of K-9 boarding.
this was the purchase that you guys voted on to be able to board the K-9.
Yep.
Just need to announce you did emergency purchase and how you voted.
Okay, we made an emergency purchase to board one of our K-9s. I think we all voted aye, so we're good.
Well, a little background is that the officer that handles him is out for an extended amount of time. And we've had issues with some of the dogs not being with their handlers, and rather than somebody getting bit or it being mishandled or whatever, this is a better solution.
Right, and
in
it's
the
back
long
with
run.
the kennel that we actually got the training from, so that he's already familiar with the dog, so
So,
Where's that located, Sheriff?
it's in Columbia.
Okay.
So, do we have to formally vote on this then?
Well, you already
Or-
voted via email. I
Yeah.
was just announce how you voted. I think all of you voted.
We all
yes.
voted aye, so.
Yeah. we all
We're,
Said we're okay making this.
So Dawn has it in the record.
How about a motion to approve and the emergency purchase, which was done on, was that Friday?
Thursday.
Last Thursday, whereby the commission approved the emergency purchase and all commissioners voted aye.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So basically, we're just ratifying the.
Thank
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think we did that before, we're just ratifying.
Approval of matching funds for EDA revolving loan fund.
That was just for the letter.
Yeah,
I did forward that letter to David Bach,
Bach, yeah.
yeah, this morning.
Okay, good.
So they're really, I don't know why it was back on there again, but it was.
Can we go back to unfinished for just a minute?
Yes,
CARES Act, do you guys have other purchases that you want to make with CARES Act money? We're trying to get that wrapped up and that money spent.
We should have the radios for the courts. We're meeting with that guy today or tomorrow, or what is today? Wednesday, tomorrow? We're meeting with him tomorrow, and we should finalize.
So we already budgeted.
That's part of what was left. Do you have other purchases that you guys know of or want to include that we need to get
The
moving on?
Health department, for the windows, I've gotta do the bid. I was gonna do it on Tuesday. And when I say me, I mean, I was gonna let Jessica do it on Tuesday, but it screwed some things up, so hopefully today I'll get her that information, so she can begin that.
Any movement on the structure?
Well, there's discussion, there may be an inside solution potentially, which is to utilize the walkway as sort of a waiting line to get in the courthouse. But that could incur some wanding expense and additional
Maybe an
security
additional
personnel or
security.
two.
But my thoughts on that is if we don't have to buy these shelters, that's gonna free up a lot of security time that we could hire another person if we had to have them watch this door or the door going into the courthouse. So I think it might be a watch or even save us money in the long run. And it won't look as hideous as a carport sitting on the steps of courthouse, so.
Right,
I
we
think
wouldn't
it's a
have,
great
we
idea.
wouldn't have to put the bus stop station up or take it down or maintain it under
but I
this,
think they're still
this
gonna go ahead
idea.
and bring that one bus stop. I had talked to Mark Beamer last week to see if they had one of their bus shelters, and Public Works is supposed to bring it up and just put it at the foot of the steps. So I think we might still have a bus shelter. We'll have people sitting there waiting for a bus too, but, I don't know how quickly we can, if Judge Beadham's happy with this, how quickly we could,
He responded with an email and said it's worth discussing,
Yeah.
right? That's where it is
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah, I think Downey and them have some stuff going on this morning, and they got an event at around 11, so if we get done early and we can meet with them and talk about it.
Okay.
I mean, this is the perfect day to talk about it, because we want to stand outside. But
Kristen, where are we as we count down to the last dollar?
We're still at like 80,000. We have some money that's gonna get freed up from last year that, we're over or under on certain things, so it may go up a little bit, depending on that. The plan was to go over that yesterday. It didn't happen, so hopefully today or tomorrow we'll get a good number on exactly where we're at, but
I think Jeff might want to buy some more boxes is why I'm asking.
Well, no, I'm still delivering them. So while we're talking about that, we've got the check for them, the people that did the boxes. So I guess I don't understand the process of how they got the addresses, but everybody with a physical address in Cole County should have gotten a box, is the way I understood it. I had a call from a local postman, and he said that people that live on the lettered routes were not going to get them because they did not receive, I guess, a postcard that's supposed to go with them. And then the postmaster, and you hooked me up with him, and he verified that. So we've got their check is why I'm talking about it. And I'm hesitant to mail their check to them if they didn't complete their.
Was there a second bill we received as well?
I've not seen that. I heard there was one coming.
Yeah, supposedly there's one coming for additional postage, and that I would have some real issues with. I don't know why you would send a postcard and not just put the address on the box.
So, okay, so wherever they got their addresses from was not the right way. If we ever do this again, I've already commented that I would go to the post office and ask them how they would address this.
Yeah,
But I want to defend them too, because I've talked to people that have said that their mail carrier came out and made a special trip just to put boxes in their mailboxes along lettered routes, and they did not even have an address on them. So I think that
no, they don't.
they tried to go above and beyond, and we threw some stuff in their lap that they weren't necessarily prepared for. We could have done it differently, but hindsight's 20/20. But
Yeah.
I'm just got a question about paying for what we thought was going to be delivered, and
Yeah, I
It's not
think,
being
I think the
delivered.
way they shipped it, he did it through a mailing firm, that's all they do, but that's the screwiest thing I've ever seen, where you get a postcard and then you get a box with nothing on it. It's like,
So the check that you have right now is for the original amounts that were approved.
Right, not the first amount, and then they came back and said, oh, wait, it's not
Right.
this amount, we have to add postage to it
Well,
yet too.
Right,
And
so.
then after they put the stick in there and broke it off, then they came back and said there was gonna be
So
more
there were
costs.
3 actual amounts that got approved, the boxes themselves, a postage amount, and then there was a second postage amount that came back. Now, from the email, it is understood that there is another change to that as well that we have not seen an invoice for. So the check that's out there right now is the original 3 amounts that were approved through CARES.
How many boxes do you have?
I got about 50 at the store, we got about 100 here, and then there's 250 at health department, and then there's,
So where did
More
all
than
the
a-
extra boxes come
they're at
from?
the emergency management.
Supposedly
On
probably
pallets.
supposed to be delivered to the lettered routes.
The extra boxes.
So,
They're at
to
emergency.
my house, which I live on a lettered route, I have not got one. Nobody along that route has gotten one that I've talked to, so if they live on
So
a
they
main
brought
road or
us all
county
of the
road.
ones for the lettered routes?
So we've got, at least, you just mentioned about 400 of them right there, and I don't know if that's.
Well,
how
no,
many total.
we got 1,000 something over at emergency management that are still on pallets.
So right
There's
there-
500 to a pallet.
So then we're being charged, what were they charging us, $6 a pop to deliver? So they're saying they wrote a check for those 1,400 boxes to be delivered, but they weren't delivered, so why should we pay that?
Well, yeah, this, and we, Christie and I can maybe talk to the company. I've talked to him a lot, but yeah, it was done poorly. It
I
was
just don't
done
want to throw it on
very,
Christie's
very,
lap.
no.
They got other stuff to do.
It was done
Mess
very,
with this,
very
we can do some
poorly,
checking
so-
into that.
He's,
Is it reasonable to pay for the boxes and still work on the postage side of it?
Well, we've got a check paying for the boxes and postage.
Well, that's why I'm suggesting maybe it ought to be, at least pay the vendor for the boxes. We have the product, or our citizens have the product. The
Yeah.
product has been delivered, so
I agree with paying for the boxes. I don't think there's any way around that. Their contract even says that if there are delays, they're not responsible for them. And So unfortunately, we're stuck with them, and we didn't get them in any kind of timely manner, but
Right.
contract kind of protects them there. But if they weren't delivered, why are we paying a delivery fee? So
Yeah.
That's a fair
Yeah.
question. I'm just thinking the vendor ought to be paid for the
So I
product,
think the
at
only
least.
breakdown that I have is, the 3 amounts that got approved. So, I mean, I can assume that the first amount was the box itself.
Was
and
it
the
for
2
about,
additional.
about half of the total?
It was,
360.
I thought it was, no, I thought it was 2 something.
Can you get
So-
up here?
Yeah.
I think I would have my attorney handle this stuff. I'd have them contact them saying, here's what's supposed to be delivered, you didn't deliver them, so throw them in
Well,
Jill's lap.
we just need to figure out what has and hasn't been done. What the intent was.
The intent was 30,000 boxes.
I
or
think
something
I
and
think
to be
whoever,
delivered.
his shipper was really negligent on,
Then he can go after that person for,
and suppose this is a big shipping company that ships for Marriott and ships for all kinds of, billion-dollar companies and stuff, but boy, they sure don't know how to ship.
I agree with Harry, we need to pay for the product, then let's sort out the shipping.
Yeah,
And the majority of the boxes were delivered.
So I have 318,255 is for the mask sanitizer and materials to every household. The additional 2 amounts were for shipping and a price difference for the box mailing.
yeah, because the post office increased their
318,
rates for the holiday
255.
shipping.
Well, we had 2 additional amounts, 105,270 and then 47,139.
I'm wondering though, since they got,
47,139.
since they went out so late, if that extra holiday shipping cost was still in effect.
I don't know.
I don't know, yeah, so,
Well, I mean, those 3 were approved by you guys, and so that's what the check was cut for. But if there's another invoice to come,
if there's another invoice, I
then
wouldn't,
maybe you can argue that fact with that one.
I was under the impression that they were not going to be sent to everybody in the county. It was only certain parts, certain zip codes. I don't know, Christie can clarify.
no, we were supposed to have every
Yeah.
citizen with a physical address in Cole County.
Well, it was every household, not every citizen. I mean,
Yeah.
that'd be 80,000 if it was every
Correct.
And
citizen,
I
but,
think it was only
Every
36,000 boxes.
right,
Every household.
every household.
So, and that's a problem too, so then when you send it to a senior citizen's home, then they have one physical address, they sent one box to those 30 people. So,
well, I've delivered some too, and it's,
those don't count though, Sam.
well, I know. I
There's a
would,
lot of problems with this, and
Yeah, this
I know we're
was-
stuck with the boxes, but I'm gonna fight paying for anything that wasn't delivered, number one.
So how would you determine what got delivered and what didn't?
Well, let's have our attorney drill into these lettered route issues. If the lettered route, citizens did not receive it, then postage is not appropriate to be charged to us. But for the product, I think the vendor should be paid. We do have the product. It has been delivered to us or to the citizens.
So,
And postage is due for those that have been delivered by the post office.
so we want to pay the 318,255.
If that is for product,
That's the note that I have, but,
all
okay,
right, all right?
and you don't want to currently pay shipping until we figure out what actually got shipped?
well, we need to talk to them, yeah, about that, because,
Is shipping synonymous with postage?
I would think.
I
The way
have,
I'm
I
using
have
it,
the
yes.
second, yeah, I have the second amount was shipping for educational boxes, and then the 47 I have as a note of price difference for CARES box mailing.
I would do the first 2, and the 47,000, I probably wouldn't pay.
Well, let's find out.
No, I
Yeah.
won't do the first either.
Well, my understanding was that the Postal Service raised their rates for Christmas deliveries.
These
But-
were delivered in January, February.
Yeah, because
So- And that was a temporary price
Uh,
increase of 24 cents.
the thing is, talking to the postmaster, they were redoing the routes, so they didn't want the boxes till like January 15th. So I don't know how long that Christmas rate
I think it's
went.
pretty easy. They should have a bill from the post office on what they delivered. And I'd like to see it. Because I'm pretty sure the post office bill is not gonna say that they delivered, how many boxes was it, 30,000?
36,000.
There were some addresses that weren't valid addresses, so I think that's what is out of
What they told
emergency
us was
management.
the boxes were one price and then the postage was so much per box. So if they didn't deliver a box, you deduct that amount. I think it's pretty simple, and they can, it's no difference than when you're getting work done at your house. If contractor says, I'm gonna do it at this price plus whatever materials, if you tell me you're gonna buy this much materials, then I'm gonna ask you to see a receipt for it. So, and I don't think that's not reasonable at all.
Somebody could tell me how many boxes were actually delivered to us. We could take that times the postage and take that off of what we owe them. So I don't know.
Let's pay for the product, pay for the boxes that were mailed and delivered.
How do we know?
Well, we have an attorney here that knows how to get answers.
All right.
The only thing I could think is to have them, I don't know, who would have a record of how many boxes were delivered? I suppose the post office?
It should.
So we're using two different words here, and you kind of mentioned that, shipped, delivered, mailed.
Yeah, because I don't know, maybe shipping all of the boxes to Jefferson City, just the boxes themselves. The shipping.
I would've went and picked them up for $105,000. I
Well-
would've rented 2 or 3 trucks and drove them up here myself.
Well,
So
we
that's
had-
shipping, that was.
we had 3
that was
days-
per package. The
3
way I
days
understood
of
it,
trucks coming.
The 318, 255 was for the boxes and to get them to wherever they had to go to be shipped.
Well,
Shipped to the houses to be mailed.
rather than discuss what we don't know, let's find out what we don't know, and let's have Jill do that. Break out the product, the shipping, the postage, the other, and pay for the product, and determine the true mailing cost that we should have incurred.
So how about if we hold that check and don't void it yet? And we ask for an itemized billing sheet that tells us costs and go
And I'll
from there.
talk with Christie, because she's got the contact information.
And this one was an internal one, so we don't have a lot of
Here's
documentation
the
on the
owner.
care side.
Who's that?
That's the vendor.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna talk to Christie too,
Yeah.
so we can get on the same
Yeah,
page.
yeah,
And
yeah.
basically, the information we want is proof of what was mailed and what was, and clarify what the difference is with shipping.
Right.
So, I mean, I see that as the 2 issues to
Okay.
look into. See if we can get information on that.
Okay, so,
And in the meantime, we hold the big check.
Yep, we'll hold it.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, hold them all until we
Yeah, we'll hold
figure it
it.
out. Okay.
okay. Okay. We'll go back to Mr. Kute.
Sorry he's late, his band wouldn't start this morning.
Oh, that's not fun.
That's your friend.
No.
Over the last 4 months, we have had a big problem trying to recruit part-time staff, our youth specialists for our residential detention program. I am requesting over the next 5.5 pay periods, not months, but pay periods, to allow me to pay overtime to staff in order to cover shifts that we are short in. And that overtime calls for the next 5.5 pay periods will cost $3,151.44. I am requesting that we take that money out of my part-time positions, salary line that we have, and I've got money in there to cover that. Also, in order to recruit and retain, I am also requesting that because I asked at the last budget cycle to increase the part-time staff by $1. If I look at increasing my part-time staff by $1, that's 5 positions that I have at 24 hours a week at $1 for 52 weeks. That amount comes for the year, that is $6,240. I will have that money in my line item for part-time to cover it this year, but in order to carry it forth for next year, I would have to increase that line by at least $6,240. For this year alone, in order to do overtime and to do the dollar increase, I'm talking in the neighborhood of $9,390 for the year. I have not introduced this at all in my to the salaries at all. So this would not be a retrospective; it would be prospective at this point.
So Michael, the overtime would be for your current full-time youth specialist to cover the open
Yes.
part-time
Yes,
slots.
right. But it's but I've calculated that to be right at about $3,000 for the next 5.5 pay periods. Because if I look at it starting, if I was able to start this pay period, it would be half of a pay period right now, because it'd be this week and then starting the next pay period, I'm looking at 5.5.
What are we paying them per hour? I know it's a kind of it's
My
pretty-
part-time
pretty-
staff right now is $12.50. $12.50.
yeah, it's I was always surprised when I'd sign the pay forms.
Yes.
To get somebody to work that.
Michael, the 6,240, is that overstated a little bit because we've had, 2.5 or 3 pay periods behind us?
I just took that
Right.
over a 12-month period.
Right. So for
I did not
the
deduct
current
that.
calendar year,
Right,
that's
I didn't back that off.
got it. And it is prospective. It's not
Prospective.
retroactive.
That is correct. So it will be less than the 6,000 for the rest of the year.
Right. And the other cost that goes with that is really just payroll taxes, right? Okay.
Yeah, with part-time, there's,
Yeah,
the additional amount.
I didn't have.
Michael, do you know the range of salaries for our peers in other counties for these positions, or?
We are a very unique entity as for a court system. I know, looking at our local program here in town, Preferred Family Health Care, that runs the Adolescent Alcohol and Drug Abuse Program, they are running at about $13.50 an hour.
Okay. And you're having trouble staffing these positions
Oh,
now?
yes, yes.
I think it's kind of like what we went through with maintenance. I think it's,
Right.
And we've had, I think I've had this posted for the last 6-7 months.
How many people are you currently down?
4. Oh, we have 1 part-time staff. Okay.
That also gives more margin there you've been down 4 staff for the year?
Since the
So,
beginning of this fiscal year.
right. I'll make a motion to see what happens here. I'll make a motion. I don't know if we want to do this in one or two. Anybody have a? No. I make a motion to grant the request for juvenile, from the juvenile director for the increase in part-time for $1
Yes.
an hour, and for the 5.5 pay periods, that's 11 weeks, for the change there that is calculated at 3151.44. That's a motion.
You can second it. if you
I'll
want.
second it.
I'm not against it, I
Okay.
still have some more questions though.
Okay, okay.
Because we talked about this during budget time, and I'm
Yes.
trying to refresh my memory of where we went with it at
We
budget
didn't go
time.
anywhere with it. I brought it up. We gave the 2% for the full-time staff, but there was nothing that was done at all for the part-time staff. I have not had an increase in the part-time staff for the last several years for
Okay.
part-time. Not full-time, but part-time staff.
We did a change last year.
I did?
I think we went from 12 to 12.50.
Oh, 50 cents, okay.
Most of the time, the part-timers are, the budget is allowed so much money and whatever they can do to stay within that budget. So it's up to the department heads to send in new pay forms for part-time. We don't make pay forms for part-time, that's up to them. We do the pay forms for full-time.
But and I appreciate that, but at the same time, I've always let the commission know what we are paying. And if I were to start giving increases as I go down that road through the year, I will deplete that part-time budget so quick, I would not be able to finish out the year. So whenever I'm looking at an increase or whatever, I'm coming to you with that cost and what it will cost me this year and then for the ongoing in here. So if you look at it on an annual basis for the part-time for the $1, that's $6,240 starting, if you look at it for a full year, for a $1 increase.
I just want to clarify, and on the full-time, you're talking about exempt employees only, right?
Yes,
Or non-exempt, I'm sorry.
Non-exempt.
Non-exempt,
Yeah, because those
sorry.
youth specialists are not exempt.
Okay.
Debbie, are you okay with part of it going into comp time and part of it going into overtime?
If they hit the right code on the timesheet.
Yes, we will do that. We will do that. And that's how I'm able to keep that cost down to 50%. The rest of it being comp time.
Okay, I still got a couple questions though. I'm trying to remember when we talked about during budget.
Yes.
It just, we didn't approve it at that time, or?
We talked about
Whatever,
it, but
but-
there was no, I presented that, but I never got any feedback from the commission on it. And I even
Okay.
brought it up at the time we were talking about it again the second time, and I got no feedback from the commission.
Okay.
It was almost as if we were taking it under consideration, but then when I got the final budget book back, once it was approved, there was nothing in there. Just like our capital improvements, I'm not sure what was approved on that either.
So do we send a budget that we advertise that we're going to approve or not approve to everybody so they can see it? That way, if there is something they want to argue, they can come up here and argue before we approve it? Because this needs to be done during budget time, and I'm not picking on you, Michael,
Right, I
but
understand.
if we were gonna do it or we're not gonna do it, that's when the decision is made, not 2 months or less than 2 months into the,
I saw
the budget,
what the
so.
auditor was recommending, but I don't know what the commission's going to recommend at that time, because it's all under discussion at that point. I don't get I know what you're going to approve when you actually vote on it.
when we have the hearing that day. and
That
then we
hearing,
approve it
yes,
that day. So
that's-
you don't get a copy of the budget before then?
No, I
To
don't.
see what
No.
we've
No,
approved?
No, I don't. I get what the auditor has recommended, but not what the commission's recommending.
Okay, we probably need to do that different then, because I think everybody should see what changes we've made.
Well, so it is available in the system, so just the same screen that you enter the budget on, you can see that commission level one. You can't make any changes to it, but you can see it as time goes on.
So if we know that, then we can go and look at it prior to.
And then, same thing, if they call and ask for a copy, they can have it. It's not being given to them at any point in time until that hearing. Because it's constantly changing up until that point. I mean, we have
But when
carry
we-
forward numbers that are changing the day before
Right.
the budget gets
But
approved.
when we advertise it in the paper that this is what we're gonna do, they can pretty much look at that and go, well, this is where they're at. The carryover, he can see as part-time money
Yes.
in this instance.
Yes,
So, I mean, I'm gonna pick on you because
Okay,
you
that's
should have been
fine.
looking at that before we
Okay.
approved the budget, and you should come up here
But
kicking and
that day
screaming.
when I came in, when I saw there was no increase in that line, that's when I, prior to, came in and asked for the dollar increase. And there was still nothing done at that point. And that was prior to you approving the budget. Because that was in December, we were allowed an opportunity to come back and
Yeah, but I'm
present
talking
our
like
case.
January 7th, when we approve it, we actually have the open meeting and it's the hearing and you can
But
come
see,
in
I
and
didn't
kick and
I
scream
didn't see
some more.
myself as being the public either at that point. As being,
Yeah, but you can still come up here and kick and scream. And then that way you can say, hey, I tried to change it and I'm up here now because I told you so and now we need to change it.
If I know
So-
we've got that ability, I will do that in the future.
Well, I think that's when there's other people, you're not the only one, Michael, that has come up and said, well, if I would've known, it's like, well, it's out there, you can go look at it before we approve it, and if you don't like it, that's when we need to do it, because I don't like budget adjustments.
Well, I think even trying to get somebody at 1350, it's, so,
Well, then why didn't we do it during the budget?
it's your fault.
So then you do have the money in the budget for part-time that we haven't used this year to
Yes.
cover that,
Yes,
and then the overtime,
it would be in the budget, in the part-time budget also. to
okay,
cover
that's
that.
gonna cover both of those.
Yes.
So giving them comp time, and I'm fine if you give them, choice, but it seems like with comp time, you're gonna have people taking off and using that comp time, and you're gonna have to,
But I can
Use more
delay that
part-time.
down the road though too, the comp time.
okay, but when they take off, are you gonna have some more part-timers in to cover
That's-
that, and
but
you're
I
gonna
give
lose
comp
some of it,
time
or?
when I have the people or have other folks fill in that position. I know, over time, I've had to come in and cover slots, and there's no increase in my pay to do that, and I know over the years, I have come in and covered a 40-hour shift, 3 and 4 months at a time, because we did not have the staff.
So you've got the money in the budget, so, I'm done arguing on this one, or I wasn't really even arguing, I was just kinda clarifying some stuff.
Okay.
Cause I remember we talked about it before, and I didn't remember why we did.
But if I know that we have an opportunity, if we have another opportunity prior to the approval to at least bring our concerns, that would be another point prior to that, after that December meeting. Because at the December meeting, we have an
Well-
opportunity to present our budget, and if we could have another time, once you've made that decision on what you're going to approve prior to the public meeting at that point, that would give us that opportunity to at least present our case again.
Let's say about you're retiring in June, right? So you don't really give
But I
a,
can
you
also-
don't really give a damn, do you?
No, I do, because that has
Okay.
a long-term impact
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
programming. And in that way, we also talked about during that budget process,
Yeah.
we did put out for advertisement for that position.
Yeah, for the overlay when,
Right, and we said for May and June, and that way, whoever gets that position, I can be providing them with the knowledge, saying come budget time, we have to have the budget on this time. We have an opportunity to give our discussion in December, and then once the commission looks at it, if the commission comes up with another time and date, that we can say, based upon your recommendation, if we have heartburn, we can come back and plead our case again prior to the public meeting.
I assumed everybody knew that was, you come up here, you plead your case, we make our changes, we semi-approve them, and then we advertise it, and then we have the meeting and the open hearing, and not saying you're public, but that's, the day before we approve it is the last day to come up here and fight it, otherwise I'm kinda like,
Yeah.
well, that's a budget deal, so I'm fine with moving
Yeah.
on with
Okay.
these. You've got the money in the budget. And then we'll look at it if we decide to leave it in there for next year, or we'll have to up it
Yeah,
because of.
We'll
the
have to
amount.
up it for the, if we up it $1 an hour.
yeah.
It-
Well, I mean, we don't have to, we can leave your part-time as a certain amount, so. I
Well,
think so, Michael.
okay.
We have a motion and a second.
Hey, you got like 6 more months left, it's not gonna be easy, buddy.
Well, hey, I enjoy it.
I want you to miss us, not necessarily.
We'll come over for barbecues.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I think that's it, so
Okay.
you've got the.
Motion and a
Motion is for
second,
just the part-time
and the,
and the overtime to the
yes.
non-exempt employees.
yes,
Right, okay.
yes. Any other discussion?
No, I'll rest my case.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Don't
Michael.
go-
Do you want to discuss the Pringer Family Center van replacement? Oh,
I don't hold you. No, I left that to our purchasing person.
oh. Hey, we got that prison, the jail van.
You don't want that van. No, you don't want that van.
You already signed that title, so forget
Yeah,
that.
man.
I mean, it's a very good van if people want to buy it,
Yeah.
sort of.
Still got-
Jeff could use it for
I need to do work.
construction.
Remember,
Special parking with it, right?
did we get 18,000?
Go, Debbie, go.
Remember, this is the van that we did receive 18,000 from the insurance company on. So then Jessica was looking for a replacement, so I'll let her take it from there.
We found one with Joe Mawkins. It's off of a co-op agreement for $24,946.
So basically, we just want permission to go ahead and purchase that.
24,906,
946.
946. What year is it?
This is a 2022.
Oh,
Brand spanking new, and then what year was the other
22.
one?
19.
Yeah, it was a 19.
So it's at 3 years old, and we got 18 for it. And
18
then what's it
something.
gonna cost? Do we have cages or anything in there that we
No.
put in there at all?
No.
We haven't put any lights or anything on it?
It's just a transport.
Just
Yeah.
transport. Yeah.
Stickers?
Yeah, we're putting nothing in there.
License plates. It's a-
Hey, we got the license plate, we just have
Just
to. pay
transfer them
the
over? We don't
fee,
have any
whatever
stickers
that
on there or
is.
anything?
no.
Okay.
It's just marked
Because
with
we
the
always have
plates.
something that we
It's a
come up with.
$24 transfer.
Got you a deal. Sheriff got us a deal on the van, but we gotta buy tires for it or something.
And an engine.
So, then the extra would come out of.
That'll be
capital, I guess.
8,000 difference.
Okay. I don't know what other options we have. If any.
Bus, they could ride the bus. I'm just, it's the snow. It's just the snow.
So you just need approval, then you good, Harry? Okay.
I'm
So we just need approval of the purchase of the Pringer Center van?
Yes.
On state co-op bid?
Yep.
Okay, motion made.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And the
So,
closed session where,
was that the evaluations?
yeah, I think so.
So that
What-
got pushed to next week?
No, we have, do we have some,
Well, I
we have the
think
legal,
had
We're gonna
no-
have to go out there and freaking figure that
Take
out.
off closed session legal, because I was
show her the
confused,
next
Matt had one, and I forgot that this is for Mike Berry's
oh, okay, so,
engagement letter, just to discuss the Allen case.
okay,
I don't know, Locke's not here, so I guess I'll do it.
okay. I make a motion, we go into closed session pursuant to section 610-021 of the Revised Statutes of Missouri for legal actions, section 610-0211.
So if it's scratched off, can we do it?
Let's put them on the same thing.
Can I put this up and you just
Well, I
import
mean-
it with her attachment?
Is this old business?
Yes,
Yes,
it
it's old
is.
business, 'cause
I
it's
can't
business.
print
Yeah,
to your
it
printers,
is.
so let's go.
2015.
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call, Don.
Harry,
Aye.
Sam,
Aye.
Jeff.
Aye. Or,
Here's my new.
You want me to shut